Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I want to talk a little bit about one of the benefits of bodybuilding or lifting weights or, fitness in general, honestly, because it really does transfer to any sort of athletic endeavor when results are letting you know what is telling you the truth. Like, what results are you getting is a part of this big scientific experiment that you're conducting when you're lifting weights. So one of the great benefits of bodybuilding is that you are learning the laws of cause and effect. You're saying, okay, if I use this rep range or this exercise or I do this certain thing with my diet, I will get a certain result. There's a presumption there based on what you've learned. And then you try, of course, these different variables, and then you see what happens over maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, sometimes a year, and then you find out whether your theories were correct. And of course, sometimes the frustrating part is that the theories that you learned from somebody else possibly were correct for them, but maybe there was some sort of adjustment that needed to happen for you to get the same benefit they did, or at least a similar benefit of some sort. So one thing I notice is that a lot of people look at bodybuilding as, oh, I gained more muscle, or I gained confidence because I have a physical stature, or I'm in better shape, or maybe I'm a bit healthier, right? If you're approaching this from the natural bodybuilding standpoint, there's a good chance that your health is a big part of the reason why you continue to train or use a resistance activity in your exercise program. So what I'm going to say is that the biggest benefit is not necessarily health, as much as that is a great benefit, because we do need to be healthy to live, right? At least some sort of life where we can, do the normal things we take for granted, right? But the greatest benefit is that you are forced to embrace what is happening instead of what you think should be happening. This basically deconstructs the concrete belief systems or fanatical thinking in the mind and allows you to embrace what is and dance accordingly, right? Because just because you get a negative result from one type of thinking doesn't mean you just can't change the thinking and then get the ideal result, right? That is, in my opinion, one of the greatest benefits of bodybuilding. That's where bodybuilding becomes a real spiritual path, because you are forcing yourself to embrace reality and be in relationship with it and dance with it accordingly. So maybe that means adjusting your relationship with the weight training. Maybe you're doing a different form on the bench press because you're noticing one form is hurting you. Maybe you're paying attention to your diet and saying, hey, I really want to have that hamburger, but you're becoming free of that desire for that hamburger and saying, no, this healthier choice of eating might be the better thing for me. And what's healthy for you might be different than somebody else. So what I'm saying is you're breaking your addiction habits, you're breaking your mind's imposition on life and saying, I'm going to dance with what is before me, instead of constantly, I think, therefore, this must be true, right? We're seeing all sorts of insane people in the world that just think something, and then just because they think it, they say it's true, but they're not necessarily backing that up with a result, right? So this is transferable to everything. It's transferable to all aspects of your life. Like a great businessman even. Like if a person's a great business person, they'll say, okay, this is what I'm doing for my business, and then they will look and see the financial statements and see what's happening. And if their financials are going down, they're going to be like, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe there's something I can refine in order to create a different effect. So it's the same thing with your training. And whenever you are in balance or in harmony with this dance, that's called wisdom. You have wisdom on some level when you embrace this, instead of come at it with basically a 5-year-old perspective. Like, I learned the alphabet and everything is always A, B, C, D, right? There's no such thing as words. There's only letters, right? So that's the beautiful thing about bodybuilding. That's the beautiful thing about dancing with life. You're not saying what life should be as much as you're saying, hey, I would like it to be this, but let's see what life teaches me in this process. Like, how do I create a certain effect? And maybe it's not the pathway that I thought. Maybe it's a different pathway. And only until you're open to different ways can you truly investigate what is the proper way for you? So yeah, I just wanted to say a few words about that and say, hey, you know, if you guys are finding that you're noticing some different results happening than say somebody else, or even from me, maybe my advice is not working for you, don't be afraid to experiment and try what's working and continue down that path. So this is more like a pep talk than it is really a teaching, but because most of you guys that are watching already know this, the 3 or 4 of you that still watch my videos. Thanks for that. So yeah, anyway, I hope this helps you in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglambodybuilding.com, and thanks to the patron supporters, and take care for now. Mountain. Natural Glam.